Bein Sports ekranlarında özel röportajlarımız devam ediyor. Ben Uygar Karaca, konuğumuz Anadolu Efes'ten hepinizin çok iyi tanıdığı bir isim. Shane Larkin, milli takım oyuncumuz Shane. Welcome, it's good to see you here.
Yeah, good to be here, good to be here.
Well, it was a long season, as every season is. And probably everyone is thinking in the same way. Every season has its ups and downs. And for instance, there was for you disappointment in the EuroLeague, but you managed to win the domestic title. So
definitely.
How do you reckon this season for the team and for you?
I mean, I would say it was a challenging season. Individually, obviously starting the season off hurt and injured, and not being able to, catch that rhythm with my teammates early on in the season when we had, so many new guys. I would say it's disappointing that I wasn't able to be, 100% early on in the season to try to, get that chemistry with those guys. And obviously with the EuroLeague, over the last 4 years, we've either been in the championship game and lost or been champions. So for us to not be able to at least have the chance to get into the playoffs and, fight for that back-to-back-to-back title was definitely disappointing. But I think it speaks to our character as a group. Because after that letdown of the season, we could have just kind of given in and say, all right, season's a wash. But we really came together, fought, and, we were able to leave as champions in some way or the other. So definitely challenging up and down season, but to leave as a champion in the Turkish League again, it is a good feeling.
Yeah, let me intervene at that exact point. I mean, you could have gone the other way when you were eliminated from EuroLeague, but you managed to gather around. Can you elaborate on the mood on the team when it was, EuroLeague was now off?
I think from top to bottom, everybody was disappointed. I think, those next couple of days when we knew that we weren't going to be able to play in the EuroLeague playoffs were kind of down, disappointing, low energy. But, at the end of the day, we came together as a group and we said, that part of the season is over. We've always had multiple goals as a team since I've been here. Win Turkish League, win EuroLeague, and even though we weren't able to accomplish that one goal of winning the EuroLeague, we definitely we're still committed to winning the Turkish League and remaining on top of Turkey as we've been for the last 5 years, and we were able to come together and do that, and it's a big testament to our crew, our coaches, our players, our staff to stay committed and stay bought in for that long period of time, and it always feels good to win championships, so it feels good now.
Can I tell you my personal opinion? Sure. I think the team took it really personal after that EuroLeague thing, and gathered together to win the title. Because in the first weeks, the mood was down. But did you took it personal?
I think I wouldn't necessarily if the word is personal. I just think at the end of the day, a lot of people have many things to say about us on and off the floor, and. Especially when we didn't qualify for the EuroLeague playoffs, and then the way we lost to Fener, game 1 in the semifinals, I think that was really like a wake-up call of it's not even about winning games or losing games at this point. It's about respect for yourself and respect for the game of basketball, and I think our character showed in those moments because, you lose like that by 42 on the road. Yeah. Game 1 of the playoffs, fans are saying, oh, go back to Miami. Bodrum is nice. Go to Bodrum. You sit there and you know that these fans are so passionate about the game, but you got to kind of understand to yourself that you still have a job, you still have to come, you still have to compete. And I think our character really shined through in those most difficult moments. And championships.
The Clyburn thing happened.
The Clyburn thing happened. So many things happened during that season specifically, or that series, but. At the end of the day, to be able to, go there in that tough environment, win a big game so that we can have home court, and then be able to finish it off by not losing another game after that, I think is a huge testament to our character as a team.
Everyone was wondering how probably the best 3 players in their positions, Vasilij Micic, you, and Will Clyburn, are going to play together. Can you tell us your personal experiences with these 3 guys playing together?
I like playing with both of them. It's very enjoyable because you have so much talent on the floor. The one thing that I would say, though, is disappointing is that we all weren't able to. We probably played collectively as a group this EuroLeague season, we probably played like 8 games together. So it's difficult to, find that rhythm, find that, camaraderie after, missing so much time. I came back, I was healthy, then Will was injured, and then Vasa was injured. So it was like we never really had a time where we all could be on the court and just play a bunch of minutes together so that we could figure out how it would work. But I think towards the end of the season, you kind of saw that in the playoffs, Turkish League playoffs. We obviously played a bunch of great teams, and we were able to win, all those games pretty convincingly. So, I think it ended up working out. Just a shame that we weren't able to have enough time, in my opinion, to have that moment happen earlier
Solidarity, on. So we are in the off season now, and it's very early to talk about the future. But now Ergin Ataman is now no longer Anadolu Efes coach. He went to Panathinaikos head coach, and you have another very important name, Erdem Can, as a head coach. What's on your mind about this shift?
I mean, I think we've had a lot of success here over the last 5 years. And obviously, Ataman has been the head coach here, and nothing but respect for what he's been able to do for our club, how he's been able to allow us to play and kind of grow as players. But he decided to take a new challenge and go to Panathinaikos, who's been struggling for the last, couple of years. And he wanted a new challenge to go there and try to bring them back to, what they were in the past. And, I wish him nothing but luck on his new journey. And in terms of our coach, he used to be on the other sideline in Finner my first couple of years here, so I remember seeing him. Then he went to the States, and he had one of my good friends he was coaching over there.
Yes.
And now he came back and had a great year with Turk Telecom, and I think he's proven himself, and I think he deserves this opportunity. And, I've had a conversation with him, and he seemed really positive. He seemed really, invested and really excited about what he could come here and do and create a culture. And, I'm down for the ride, and, I've grown a deep respect for this club and everything they've done for me in my career. So it's only fair for me to go out there and fight for whoever the coach is, and that's what I plan on doing. And, the standard doesn't change. I think the coach understands that. President wants to win championships, and as long as I'm here, as long as a lot of the guys that are here on this team, our goals are still going to be the same, regardless of who's the coach. So really excited about the opportunity to work with him, and I guess we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
but your collaboration probably will continue in the national team, Turkish national team.
Possibly.
As you're a Turkish citizen since 2020. But you have a special thing with Turkey,
of course.
A different connection, I believe.
I mean, my connection with Turkey goes way beyond basketball at this point. The thing that brought me to this country was basketball, but the things that have occurred in my life, the things that I've gone through, the experiences that I've had since I've been in this country are, things that have changed my perspective, changed my views, changed me as a human for the better. And, I really have a genuine love for this place, and I always plan on being attached to here somehow, some way. And we'll see how we can continue to do that as time goes on, but definitely Turkey has been so impactful for me that it's even hard to put into words how much respect and admiration I've had for the way I've been received in this country. So it's been great.
This point is very important because you've been in Spain and then you went back to NBA, but then you came back and maybe you transformed yourself as well, not only in the basketball court, but about life as well, I think. So you initiated Shane Larkin Foundation. So it's an off-court activity, but it is designed to, as far as I know, help the disadvantaged children or young people in their lives. So can you elaborate on how did the idea come and what were the first steps?
Well, the idea came from, obviously I became a Turkish citizen in 2020.
Yes.
And that was my second year here, in the middle of my second season here. And just through, different experiences, different things that I had gone through, the amount of times that, I've had opportunities to leave that maybe were good deals in other places, the feeling that I had when I tried to get my mind to accept the deal to leave Turkey just never sat correct with me. So I knew that it was something bigger for me. It meant something more to me than just basketball and a contract. It was really like a feeling that I had being here in this country. And, I just wanted to think of other ways how I could give back, how I can incorporate myself more into the community, how I could, when I speak about things that I can't even, put in words of how much I respect and the support I've received in this country. Just trying to find a way, thinking, trying to find a way how I could give back was, what I was thinking about. And then I found, or I didn't find, but, we came to the idea, me and some people around me, to create a foundation where, I have a platform that I've built over the last few years where I have a lot of support on the court, off the court. And I figured that if I could create a platform or not a platform, a foundation where people could, with similar ideas, come in and try to create these different opportunities for kids and be able to incorporate myself back into the community was kind of how the whole idea came together.
Well, this is a very valuable thing that you've been doing here. I don't think I have heard so many examples in Turkey. A player originally from United States coming here, become Turkish citizen, initiating charity work and the foundations. Have you heard any other example?
I have not seen any examples like that.
It's a unique case.
Yeah,
as far as I
guess
know.
So. I guess so.
Yeah, that's very nice. So, what were the first steps? I mean, when you gathered the foundation together, I think the activities started back in December 22.
Yeah.
So it's been a short time, but you already started to work.
Yeah, we've done a few things so far, and obviously it's going to be slower at the beginning, but we have dreams and aspirations to grow into something much bigger. But the first event that we did is we went to a child protection house here in Turkey on New Year's and gave out some gifts and just spent some time with the children and just try to bring them some kind of happiness, some kind of joy, and uplift their spirits during that, holiday season. So that was the first thing we did, and then obviously there was a devastating earthquake that happened months later, and the foundation had already kind of been formed, but through that time is when I kind of reached out to people through my social media and just said to all different people in the world that, we're going through something really tragic here in Turkey, and any amount of help can go a long way. So we had different donations from, hundreds of people. We just want to provide kids with the opportunity to get back to some kind of regular life. A lot of things were destroyed there. So we wanted to provide them with these centers that they can go and just kind of be free, learn, work on their creativity and just have this space where they feel safe and can have a environment of learning and growing and becoming more. So those are two of the things that we've done so far in, the last 6 months. And we want to continue to grow and do more and more.
Yeah, indeed. Now I will take a break from the current activities, but we'll move on to a more maybe foundational basis of this work that you're doing. Mm-hmm. Because as a young person, you are suffering from a disorder, let's say. So it's obsessive compulsive disorder. Yeah. I think that it had a part for you to come to this idea, right?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I remember when I was a child dealing with OCD. At first, you don't even really understand it yourself. I didn't really understand why I was doing certain things or why I had to do certain things to feel okay. And I remember a lot of those times it made you kind of feel insecure because you didn't understand exactly what was going on with yourself, and you feel like you don't want to be a burden to somebody, so you kind of just deal with it on your own. You deal with it internally. Yes. And you kind of feel lost. And I know that my mom also struggles from OCD. Well, I wouldn't say struggles because she's much better now, but she struggled at a point in her life with OCD. Yeah. And when I was young, I actually went to get therapy for it. And then I started to understand what I was dealing with. And once I started to understand what I was dealing with, I could start to find ways to cope with it and how I can grow and how I could, do better with dealing with it. A lot of people see, the basketball games, the highlights, the life that you live, but they don't see those like interior struggles that everybody deals with. And I think just being able to be in a space where I am now with this platform saying that, hey, now I am, a successful basketball player and have done the things that I've accomplished in my life. At one point, I was also struggling. At one point, I also questioned myself. At one point, I also, had doubts, but, receiving help from different areas and, creating, a better environment around myself, I was able to believe in myself and be able to chase those passions and truly believe that I could become something more. And
so it doesn't have to be basketball, but in your case, I think basketball helped a lot to get out of this vicious cycle.
For sure.
It can be another sport, but sport really helped you, right?
It could be, it could be anything, Mine was basketball, my obsession was like germs, cleanliness.
Yes.
And, I didn't know why or what the purpose was, but whenever I played basketball, I would never think about germs. I would never think about something being, non-sanitary or something like that. I would just be so locked in and so focused on playing the game that I love so much. Those other things didn't necessarily matter to me in that moment. So it could be a sport, it could be an art, it could be singing, it could be painting, it could be writing, it could be reading, it could be, running, it could be a million different things. But, being able to find that one thing that is kind of your safe space, your safe haven, takes you away from everywhere else, definitely helps. And basketball was for sure the thing that, helped me be the driving force through getting through a lot of those trouble moments.
Indeed. You have a lot to say about your foundation, and let's come to the point for the future. What are the long-term goals? What are the plans?
The long-term goals are to, create these opportunities, create these spaces for these children to, maybe who don't have the equal needs as some other people, to create a space where they can go somewhere and work on their creativity, work on their passions, and be able to follow them and do opportunities for them long term. To be specific, I don't want to put a ceiling on what we want to accomplish, but I have a team around me that we have a lot of great ideas, whether that's scholarships and stuff like that, where we're trying to grow and get to a place and get to a platform where, these other companies or these other brands look at us and we say, that's somebody where we believe in their values and believe in what they're doing, and maybe, create partnerships or collaborations with these different places, and, just help have these kids feel as though they can, be more, grow more, achieve more, and being able to follow them along that journey and be a part of that, impact that helps them achieve those things. I would say those are the long-term goals. So
apparently this thing gives you a different kind of happiness than winning EuroLeague back-to-back EuroLeague titles, right? For
sure. Those moments, EuroLeague's championships, they all feel great in the moment. And,
sure.
The next day you wake up and you have to kind of get back to regular life.
Yes.
No matter how many times you talk about it, it still feels great in those moments. But something along this line, along this path where you can see and actively follow these kids or, follow the future, how these people progress and they grow and they achieve more, and then you start to see their ideas grow, that brings me much more satisfaction than, winning a trophy. So if I could have the same level of success on the court, off the court with this, it would make me 20 times happier for sure.
But I think it's a very fitting project for you, because I see you many times on the court talking to Mitsic, off the court, going live, Instagram live activities with Clyburn. You're trying to gather people around, and you try to, bring them together, bring everyone together.
Yeah, I like to view myself as that kind of guy who brings people together and creates positive energy and positive vibes. So I guess you could say that about me.
Okay, so I think that is it. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Değerli spor severler, Bein Sports ekranlarında özel röportajlarımız devam ediyor demiştik ve bugün konuğumuz Shane Larkin'di. Kendisi Shane Larkin Vakfı'nın projelerini, neden kurulduğunu, nasıl kurulduğunu bize aktardı. Bu senenin geride kalan bölümüyle ilgili değerlendirmeleri oldu. Keyifli sohbet için teşekkür ediyoruz kendisine. Shane, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Hope you see you in the future again.
For sure.
Hoşçakalın.